Good morning, America. For our viewers in the West, the nationwide manhunt, a regime collapsing, and one final bow. New images show the suspect in the killing of United Healthcare CEO in a taxi about 20 minutes after the shooting. As police search for the suspect, the bike he escaped on, and the murder weapon, as hundreds of tips pour in and thousands of police officers work the case.
Stunning fall. Rebels topple brutal Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad, ending his family's 50-year rule. Russia's Vladimir Putin grants him asylum. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan joins us live on the opportunity and the risk of regime change.
It's also a moment of risk and uncertainty.
And the possibility kidnapped American journalist Austin Tice could finally come home. James Longman at the Syrian border for us right now.
A civil lawsuit accusing Jay-Z of sexually assaulting a 13-year-old with Sean Diddy Combs more than 2 decades ago. The music mogul firing back this morning.
Holiday parade crash.
Oh my God.
The investigation after a police officer appeared to lose control of his motorcycle, accelerating into a crowd.
Home run. Slugger Juan Soto signing a record-setting deal with the New York Mets, topping Shohei Ohtani after leading the Yankees to the World Series.
Overnight, hail to the Chiefs. Kicker.
The dike for the division!
Another wild ending. And it's the end of the road.
Here we go!
Overnight, Taylor Swift shaking it off one last time on her Eras tour, ending the record-setting concert event. Rebecca Jarvis and her daughter Isabel flying to Vancouver, taking us inside as fans around the world tune in. How will Taylor top this? But for now,
live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
how will Taylor top this? How will Rebecca top what she just did for her daughter? You're in trouble.
I am. My daughters know Isabel very well. The fact that they didn't get to go, but she did, I'm going to hear it for a long time.
Isabel now the ultimate Taylor tie.
She is. Taylor Tots, that's what they are called, and she was there for the final Eras Tour show with her mother. I hope she's sleeping a little bit. Rebecca is certainly up. She's going to tell us all about it coming up.
She's got all the friendship bracelets too. More on that ahead. First, though, the holidays, they are fast approaching, of course. The first shipping deadline is coming up later this week. We'll tell you what you need to know to get your packages where they need to go in time without paying more than you have to.
We have a lot of news to get to. We're going to begin with the manhunt for the suspect in the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Killer's still on the loose 6 days after the shooting. This morning, newly released images show the man just minutes after the shooting. Senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky starts us off. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning to you, George. Detectives are optimistic they're closing in, but heading in now to a 6th day of searching. They still do not have an identity of the suspect or anyone in custody. This morning, video obtained by ABC News shows the killer waiting for Thompson moments before the shooting. Others pass by, and when the killer sees his mark, he runs across 54th Street and opens fire. The NYPD is hoping someone recognizes these latest images of the suspected shooter of United Healthcare chief Brian Thompson. The suspect seen getting into a taxi about 20 minutes after the shooting, appearing to look right at the camera. By then, he had ditched the bicycle he was spotted riding into and out of Central Park, where NYPD divers spent the weekend searching a pond for clues. Police have yet to recover the bike or the murder weapon. The pond is near the spot where officers found what they think is the suspect's backpack. It contained a Tommy Hilfiger jacket and Monopoly money. Detectives are working to determine whether the play money was meant as some sort of statement.
It's some kind of statement, some kind of it's always some messaging that has to be figured out. But that's not really what the immediacy is. Immediacy is I get him identified and arrested. That motive that might go to that, we'll figure that out later as we go along.
Hundreds of tips are pouring in, and thousands of police officers are cycling through a manhunt that is now nationwide.
The amount of detective work it took to put the pieces together, we feel comfortable we're getting closer and closer.
The police built a timeline that begins 10 days prior to the shooting, November 24th, when they say the suspect arrived in New York by bus just after 10 p.m. He immediately took a taxi to the scene of the crime. He took another taxi to a hostel on the Upper West Side where he checked in using a fake ID, paid in cash, and was spotted on a security camera without his mask. The images shared widely by police. On December 4th, police say the suspect is seen leaving the hostel at 5:30 in the morning and arriving near the Hilton 11 minutes later. He was seen walking nearby, ordering at Starbucks, then waiting for Thompson, who crossed 6th Avenue at 6:44 a.m. 45 minutes later, police say the suspect was seen at the bus station by the George Washington Bridge and not seen since. Back at the murder scene, police say they found the words deny, defend, depose written in Sharpie on shell casings. Thompson's murder ignited online anger at the health insurance industry, some on social media posting vicious sarcasm or indifference toward the death of Brian Thompson. Police have not established a motive, but they say they found no evidence the killing had anything to do with Thompson's personal life. United Healthcare is declining to answer questions posed by ABC News, including whether the company has offered to contribute to the reward money for information leading to an arrest.
But Aaron, what are police saying about the gun that was apparently used in the shooting? It seems very unusual.
It is a distinctive weapon. They think it may be a veterinary type gun used on ranches and farms to put down an animal because it can fire a quiet shot with that long barrel. They don't think it had a separate screwed in silencer. And the magazine is in the grip. It's bolt action, so it has to be manually cycled. And he did show some proficiency with the weapon. They're still looking for it.
And how about the messages on the shell casings and that Monopoly money in the backpack?
Literally toying with investigators, and they're not sure whether it is some sort of message. It's a tantalizing clue, but they also are open to the possibility that all those items may have been planted by the shooter as a ruse.
All right, Aaron, thank you so much for your reporting on this. We know you're staying on it. Thank you. But overseas now, to the collapse of the Assad regime in Syria. Rebels seized the presidential palace after they launched a lightning offense just 2 weeks ago. President Bashar al-Assad fled the capital over the weekend and has been granted asylum by Russian President Putin. Assad and his family has ruled the country in a brutal dictatorship for half a century and engaged in a bloody civil war the past 14 years, backed by Russia, Iran, and Hezbollah. The question now, so what happens next? The U.S. has some 900 troops stationed in the country right now as American forces carried out airstrikes on ISIS positions this weekend. We're going to talk with National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan. There he is in just a moment. But first, Chief International Correspondent James Longman is at the Syrian border for us. And James, tell us what you're seeing right now.
Yeah, Robin, it's a very, very tense situation here right now. Let me show you just around here. We've got thousands of people streaming out of Syria, desperate to leave the country because they're not sure what the change means for them. The Lebanese army has been called in, and they've actually put a barrier up there stopping people from coming out. Meantime, you're seeing all these cars, and it streams all the way down there, of people going into Syria. This is the chaos that revolution brings. One of the world's most oppressive regimes brought down in days. Bashar al-Assad's violent dictatorship made millions of Syrians homeless. This morning, he is on the run, overthrown by rebel fighters in lightning speed. The regime collapsing in just 11 days. His people now discovering the massive wealth kept from them at his presidential palace in the capital, Damascus. Rebels taking over state television saying the city of Damascus has been liberated. The tyrant Bashar al-Assad has been toppled. And this morning, entering Syria, I met border guards from Hayat Tahrir al-Sham.
He said, why are people worried? I said, because Golani came from Al-Qaeda. ISIS might be involved. He said, no, there's nothing to worry about.
Symbols of the Assad family's more than 50-year reign defaced and destroyed. Cheers and gunfire filling the air, celebration and relief. Yusuf was 17 years old when he left Syria. He's 29 today. He's going home and he can't stop smiling. How are you feeling? I ask him. I'm so happy, he says. Mixed feelings because I've missed so much. My studies, work, but I'm happy, he says. Heartbreaking discoveries now being made. Don't be afraid, the man says to this woman found in an underground prison. He finds a child alongside her. Russia's foreign ministry announcing Assad's resignation, and it's to Moscow that the now former president has fled with his family. Bashar al-Assad inherited power from his father Hafez in 2000. A London-educated eye doctor, he was the respectable face of a new Syria world leaders rushed to work with. Vogue even called his glamorous wife Asma a rose in the desert. But as soon as he was challenged, his father's son emerged. He crushed the 2011 protest movement, killing hundreds of thousands. Then President Obama said use of chemical weapons would be a red line, but Assad crossed it, and the chaos that followed allowed terror group ISIS to seize territory and launch attacks against the West. Iran, Hezbollah and Russia helped Assad hold on. Wars in Gaza, Lebanon and Ukraine meant they couldn't save him now. The rebel group, Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, emerged from the chaos of the civil war. Its leader is this man, Abu Muhammad al-Golani, a former al-Qaeda member who turned against them, and he's now presenting a more moderate image, promising a turning point for the region. President Biden among those praising this moment as an opportunity for Syrian independence, but one fraught with danger.
It's a moment of historic opportunity for the long-suffering people of Syria to build a better future for their proud country. It's also a moment of risk and uncertainty.
Now, Syrians are fast discovering the truth of the Assad regime. Underground prisons full of women and children, instruments of torture, the wealth that he accumulated. But as they try to make history, the future is really uncertain. George?
It certainly is. Okay, let's bring in White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan for more on this. Jake, we just heard the president say right there, this is a moment of opportunity and a moment of risk. Bottom line, is it good for the United States and the world?
Well, it is good for the United States and the world that a murderous dictator whose family has ruled Syria with an iron fist for half a century is gone. Assad was the author of the killing of hundreds of thousands of people, the oppression of religious and ethnic minorities as well. And so, from our perspective, it is good that he is gone. But as President Biden said, there is risk and uncertainty about what comes next. There's an opportunity to build something better in Syria. But there is concern that terrorists, jihadists, and other people who do not have the United States' best interests at heart, to say the least, could take advantage of this. We are vigilant about that. We are taking action to deal with that. And we're prepared to work with anyone in Syria who wants a stable, inclusive, democratic future for that country. That's what we intend to drive towards.
You talked about the action the United States is taking 75 airstrikes against ISIS targets yesterday inside Syria. What is the top U.S. priority right now?
Well, number one priority, obviously, is to protect the United States of America from the resurgence of a terror threat emanating from Syria, and that means holding ISIS down. Don't let them take advantage of this. Then there is the priority of making sure that our friends in the region are secure and stable. Israel, Jordan, Iraq, Lebanon, that these countries do not suffer from any kind of violent spillover effects from what's happening in Syria. And then finally, it is to support the Syrian people as they try to build a better future for their country. These are the steps that we are going to take, we have started taking, and we'll do it in concert with our friends in the region.
What more do we know about how Assad escaped to Moscow and what's going to happen with him next?
We actually don't know the circumstances of his departure, how he fled his country, got on a plane and got to Moscow. What we do know is that his backers, Iran, Russia, and Hezbollah, couldn't come to his aid because they have been weakened and exposed because of conflicts happening elsewhere. Russia weakened and exposed because of Ukraine. Iran and Hezbollah weakened and exposed because they made the grave mistake of trying to attack Israel after October 7th. The U.S. stood up in support and defense of Israel, stood up in support of defense of Ukraine, and the result is Assad was basically naked and alone without friends and had to flee.
He's got one friend in Moscow. Can he be held accountable for his actions?
Well, a lot of that's going to turn on Russia explaining exactly why it is that they're harboring a murderous dictator. They offered him asylum from the Syrian people who he has brutalized and murdered over the course of a long time. So that question is best directed towards Moscow. What we are going to do is support the Syrian people as they try to turn the page on Assad and build a better future.
Finally, what more do we know about the condition of Austin Tice, the American journalist who was kidnapped in Syria 12 years ago?
Well, as President Biden said in his remarks yesterday, this is a top priority for us, to find Austin Tice, to locate the prison where he may be held, get him out, get him home safely to his family. We have offered a reward to anyone who can provide information. And we are talking through the Turks and others to people on the ground in Syria to say, help us with this, help us get Austin Tice home. We don't know exactly where he's located, but we do know that we're not going to rest until we get him home to his family.
Jake Sullivan, thanks very much. Whit?
All right, George, we turn now to the bombshell accusation against Jay-Z, a woman claiming the hip-hop mogul joined Sean Diddy Combs in sexually assaulting her when she was just 13 years old. Jay-Z is vehemently denying the accusation. ABC News Live anchor Linsey Davis is here with more. Linsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning to you, Whit. This lawsuit lawsuit originally named Diddy as the defendant, but then it was refiled yesterday and now also names Jay-Z. But the music mogul is coming out swinging, saying in a statement that the allegations are so heinous in nature that he employs the lawyer to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one, adding whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away.
New allegations this morning leveled against rapper Jay-Z, also known as Sean Carter, accusing him of sexually assaulting a then 13-year-old girl with Sean Diddy Combs after the VMAs in 2000. The new amended civil lawsuit, originally filed by a Jane Doe in October, identifies celebrity A as Jay-Z, claiming that he and Diddy drugged and raped a 13-year-old girl at an after-party and that another celebrity stood by and watched as Combs and Carter took turns assaulting the minor. Combs and Jay-Z both attended the award show that year. Jay-Z, who was 31 at the time, is now a multi-platinum Grammy winner and business mogul who's reached the highest heights of the rap industry. Jay-Z is vehemently denying the allegations, writing, "This is a blackmail attempt," taking direct aim at the plaintiff's attorney Tony Busby, saying what he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle, going on to say the claims are idiotic, and noting the impact this has had on his wife, music icon Beyonce, and their 3 children. "My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims." Jay-Z challenges Busby to change the civil lawsuit to a criminal complaint. But Busby is standing his ground, writing, "I won't be bullied or intimidated. People will see through this effort to discredit me and my clients, and the truth will be revealed. I also won't allow anyone to scare my clients into silence."
For Jay-Z, the question is, what is next? And for him, it's going to be fighting this civil lawsuit and either trying to get Jane Doe to name herself, provide any evidence that these allegations are true, or fight them based on the facts that he has.
Now, through his attorney, Sean Combs denies all allegations against him, saying in court the truth will prevail and that he never sexually assaulted or trafficked anyone. Guys.
All right, Linsey, our thanks to you. We're going to turn now to another dramatic win in the NFL overnight. The Kansas City Chiefs, they've done it again, clinching their 9th consecutive AFC West division title. How do they continue to do it like this?
I don't know. It's like Tay Voodoo, right? That's they got it all going on. What a game that was. The Kansas City Chiefs fully in their stressful win era. For the 3rd straight week, they win a nail-biter at the end of the game. 2nd week in a row, they win 19-17. We go straight to the 4th quarter. The Chiefs at home down 17-16 to the LA Chargers. Patrick Mahomes, he had a decent night. As he seems to do every single time it matters, he comes through in the clutch. That's a huge completion to Travis Kelce. Who else? And that gets the Chiefs in field goal position with just seconds remaining. So here's the 31-yard kick from 3rd-string kicker Matthew Wright. You got to hear this.
This is for the division, for the Chiefs. For the division! It's the doink for the division for the Chiefs!
What a loud doink. That's the 4th field goal of the night. The Chiefs escape with a win again. They win that 9th straight division title. They've now had 3 different kickers hit a game-winning field goal this season. No other NFL team has ever done that before with more than one.
All right.
I want a stat on hitting the post.
I'll get that for you in our 2nd hour.
He's on it. Yeah, the research department.
Coming up, it's the end of an era. Taylor Swift's record-breaking tour took its final bow last night. Rebecca Jarvis was there.
George, it was the most magical night shared with my daughter Isabel, and I cannot wait to share it with all of you.
Can't wait for that.
We'll be right back.
Back here on GMA, Taylor Swift's Eras Tour has come to an end, leaving a blank space for many Swifties. Rebecca took her daughter Isabel to that historic last show, and she's going to tell us what Taylor said to the crowd. Were there any Easter eggs that were delivered?
I'm sure there were. Going a lot of headlines right now, including the manhunt for the suspect in the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Killer's still on the loose 6 days after the shooting. We have newly released images showing the man this morning, just minutes after the shooting. Also right now, dramatic rescue caught on camera in Georgia after a student pilot and flight instructor crashed just minutes after takeoff. Coast Guard rescuers hoisted them to safety after they experienced an autopilot malfunction, were forced to put the small plane down in a coastal marsh near the South Carolina border. Thankfully, no one was injured.
And Christmas came early for New York Mets fans. Just weeks after leading the New York Yankees to the World Series, slugger Juan Soto has signed the largest deal in professional sports history. $765 million for 15 years. That's bigger than the monster contract signed by Shohei Ohtani last offseason. The only good news for the Yankees, he didn't go to the Boston Red Sox. Maybe this is more tolerable, a little bit. We've got a lot more coming up, including Timothy Chalamet surprising football fans. That's ahead.
Right now, the end of an era. Taylor Swift wrapped up her record-breaking global tour last night in Vancouver, packed stadium, including Rebecca Jarvis and her daughter Isabel. Rebecca up early in Vancouver this morning. Good morning, Rebecca.
Hi, George. It has been an incredible 24 hours. I'm here at the JW Marriott Park in Vancouver. Taylor Swift, her last show on the Eras Tour last night. This is a tour that has spanned 2 years, 5 continents. They've sold over 10 million tickets, $2 billion in sales. And when I got the call to come see the grand finale here in Vancouver, I knew there was only one sidekick who could do it justice. My 5-year-old daughter, Isabel.
I have a surprise for you. You know how it's Taylor Swift's last concert tomorrow night? You and I are gonna go. Are you excited? Yes!
And with that, we were off for a mother-daughter adventure we'll never forget. This is it, the final show. Taylor Swift is about to perform, and I'm with my favorite sidekick. Making the 3,000-mile journey to Vancouver just in the nick of time. We made it alongside 60,000 other very lucky Swifties.
We've gotten to perform for over 10 million people on this tour. Tonight, we get to play one last show for you here tonight in beautiful Vancouver. Grand adventure together.
A massive farewell to a tour that meant so much to so many. The 14-time Grammy winner treating us to hit after hit.
The story isn't mine anymore.
The tour has a reputation for bringing people from all over the world together with love and kindness.
Camaraderie and like everyone coming together and just like the amazing friendships that it's brought everybody.
Literally, there's nothing like it.
Also shaking it off, fans like 12-year-old Super Swiftie Ellie, who's collected 1,500 bracelets from all over the world.
I want to thank every single one of you for being a part of the most thrilling chapter of my entire life to date.
After her final song, Karma, she shared her usual hug with her dancers and backup singers. But instead of being lowered beneath the stage, she walked out with her crew one last time. It was truly a magical moment, a totally magical night to share. And eagle-eyed fans, guys, they've been spotting these cameras in the stadium, thinking maybe there's going to be an extension of the documentary, a new film coming out. I definitely saw a lot of professional cameras in the room, so I don't think this is the last we'll hear from Taylor Swift. But it was truly a spectacular moment for Isabel and I and all the people all around the world who've experienced it. It was like this giant warm hug. And we got a lot of bracelets. We came away with our share of friendship bracelets, too.
But were there any Easter eggs? Everyone thought that maybe she would drop a little something. Anything, Rebecca, that you picked up?
I mean, what I was picking up on was just the joy and excitement of the moment. I do think that those cameras, they're all professional grade cameras, and they were everywhere capturing both fans in the stands as well as all of her performance. So I think we're going to see some additional content from Taylor Swift in the not too distant future. You probably won't have to wait for a full concert.
How about that for
You're not going out on a limb at all there.
Breaking news.
So. And it's her birthday on Friday.
Thanks,
it's
guys.
Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th is Taylor Swift's birthday, so maybe
she'll give it to GMA, the little announcement.
Yeah. You get some rest and you hug Isabel for us. Looked like she had a fantastic time. Thanks for taking one for the team.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rebecca. All right, we do turn now to the reopening of Notre Dame. Its first mass after 5 years of reconstruction. The public finally able to step inside following the fire that nearly destroyed the Paris landmark. Tom Sufi-Burridge is at the cathedral. Tom, good morning to you. What a sight behind you.
Yeah, good morning, Whit. What a weekend here at Notre Dame. You can see from the scaffolding crisscrossing part of the building that there's still some work to be done here. But the cathedral is now welcoming in the public again after Notre Dame reopened in spectacular style. This morning, Notre Dame reborn in style. Choir back in full voice. The cathedral's 8,000 pipe organ restored and ringing out. Earlier, the Bishop of Paris banging on the doors to officially reopen the cathedral. The iconic bells sounding across Paris again. Those doors swinging open to this awesome sound. First Lady Jill Biden, Prince William and President-elect Trump there Saturday to celebrate the refurbished building in its newfound glory but traditional style. On Sunday, the first Mass in more than 5 years, and late last night, members of the public back inside for the first time since that destructive fire in 2019. The firefighters who bravely extinguished the flames that day, honoured at the opening ceremony with a standing ovation. And guys, you won't be surprised to hear that online reservations to visit the cathedral are sold out for the coming days. But here's something, it's free. And on the remaining work to be done, they spent about $700 million to refurbish and renovate the building, but they've still got about $100 million for further improvements in the coming months. Guys?
Amazing. And the sound of that organ, so inspiring too.
Majestic.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tom. We're back now with our Christmas countdown. The holiday just over 2 weeks away. Can you believe it? Don't worry, we're all over it. Consumer correspondent Becky Worley joins us with what you need to know about returns this year. But first, Janai stopped doing the robot long enough to give us the shipping.
Just barely, just barely. Here we go.
The shipping deadlines we need to know.
Yes, we need to know these things because the countdown is on. Just 16 days until Christmas and Hanukkah. With Kwanzaa too, the holidays are upon us. So that means we need to be strategic over the next week and 2 days or so. So the first shipping deadline that you need to know is this Friday. Circle it on your calendar as if we still have physical calendars. That's the final day to send a package by FedEx Ground. The other dates that you need to know, look, they're up here on the screen, the 18th, the 19th, the 20th, the 21st. I know, what does that mean actually? Next Wednesday, that's the 18th. What you need to know, it's next Saturday. Next Saturday. Hey Alexa, remind me next Saturday, the last day to send Christmas packages. Also, when you're thinking about your holiday budget, consider things like how big the package is, how far you're shipping it, whether you're shipping it for yourself, shipping it to yourself or direct, as well as that will impact costs and whether you add on insurance. So we got to be strategic. The basic thing you got to walk away with, Saturday.
Saturday.
It's also free shipping day.
Ooh.
That's this Saturday. Okay.
Circle.
Free shipping this Saturday.
Okay.
Final day to ship next Saturday. That's what you need to know. National Free Shipping Day with a number of retailers, Walmart, Target.
This is what you have to deal with every weekend, right?
Look, I'm trying to hit all the points. Yeah. I'm thinking as a mom of what days of the week, Saturday and Saturday. That's what you got to know.
We love you, Janai. Thank you. So we got the gifts.
Yes.
Okay, but once they're unwrapped, got to think about returns. Consumer correspondent Becky Worley has the latest on what some are calling, what is this, returns roulette, Becky? Retailers are really bracing for heavy returns this year?
It is going to be a big deal. It's predicted that we as consumers are going to return more goods than ever. The National Retail Federation says 17% of all goods sold this holiday season will be returned. That's up 2% from last year, and it totals $890 billion in goods. And this really impacts their bottom line. So retailers are being stricter than ever about their timelines and policies. You got to know those dates. Those windows, some are extended for the holidays, but it's a big deal. Pay attention to return dates this year.
Yeah, and Becky, we're following those dates. Today, of course, Green Monday. This is the Monday 2 weeks before Christmas, so retailers trying to get you to be able to buy your stuff with plenty of time to avoid the shipping deadlines. What kind of deals are we seeing on this Green Monday?
Well, these are not quite Black Friday level deals, but let me give you some examples. Walmart has a Skull Candy portable speaker. It was $167. Now it's on sale for $79. Best Buy has the AirPods Pro, $60 off. And at Target, if you spend $50 on toys, you'll get $10 off. It's time, guys. Let's get her done.
But be careful with returns because Gio got banned from Amazon. I'm just saying.
Did he really? Yeah, he actually did.
Don't return too many things.
We don't have time for a follow-up there because we have college bowl stuff coming back. Our dynamic football duo, Will Reeve, Larry, here for the college football playoffs. Will?
Hey, George. So until this year, bracketology was a discipline reserved for college basketball, but now the college football playoff is expanded. 12 teams now have a shot at the national title. There's the bracket. Here's the breakdown. There's 4 rounds. The first round, quarterfinals, semifinals, then the national championship game. 4 teams get first round byes. Pac-12 champs Arizona State are the 4 seed. Boise State with likely Heisman finalist Ashton Ginty. They won the Mountain West. They're number 3. Number 1 is Oregon. They won a high-scoring affair against Penn State. They're still in, though, Lara, to win the Big Ten. And, Lara, you're going to have to wear one of those split jerseys because you're a Penn State alum.
I was going to do the face makeup, one half.
Penn State alum, SMU mom.
Yes.
What are you going to do? Because they're playing each other.
Listen, Duff is a grown man. He doesn't need his mommy to cheer for his team. I'm going with my Nittany Lions. They are favored by 8.5. It might be closer than that, but secretly, Will, I would be happy either way. Everybody wins in this one, especially for Duff. He has a great team to root for his senior year of college. Now, as for Timothée Chalamet as guest picker, he was on fire. He knew what he was talking about. He was fun to watch, and America was thrilled to watch every bit of it. Check him out on his first pick of the day.
These teams are 2-2 in the last 4 matchups. The Redhawks defense looks good, but I'm looking at 4th-year Bobcats quarterback Parker Navarro. Yeah. 65% completion rate. If he can get going, he'll tilt this in favor of the Bobcats. I'm going underdog Bobcats here. Yes. Underdog Bobcats.
He was right. Sorry, Miami of Ohio and Rick McVay. We'll be right back.
He's got stats for you. Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. Nationwide manhunt. New images show the suspect in the killing of United Healthcare's CEO in a taxi about 20 minutes after the shooting. As police search for the suspect, the bike he escaped on and the murder weapon as hundreds of tips pour in. Thousands of police officers work the case.
Tiny doses, big impact? Why some people are microdosing popular medications used for weight loss.
I'm somebody who is highly sensitive to medications of any kind. I've always had strong reactions.
And what doctors say about it. Colin Farrell's mission, the award-winning actor turned ambassador for people living with disabilities, talking about his 21-year-old son James and his rare genetic disorder.
He's amazing, but he needs a lot of help.
How he's making a difference for other families in the special needs community.
And The Simpsons take over Monday Night Football, getting off the couch and onto the sidelines. Bart, Homer, and the gang on the field during the game, all live. We have a preview as ESPN announcers Dan Orlovsky and Drew Carter say,
"Good morning, America, from Springfield, State Redacted."
Live in Times Square, this is GMA.
And we cannot wait to see how they pull off the Simpsons on the field. And we have something special here in Times Square this morning. Yes, we come bearing gifts for everybody out there.
Absolutely. Also ahead here, this is it, the final week of the year to score those big savings, and Tori Johnson has supersized it all this morning. 9 great gifts. The prices start at just $5. That's coming up.
We also have a lot of news. President-elect Trump sat down for his first television interview since the election, talked about the impact of his tariffs, mass deportations, pardoning January 6 rioters. First, latest on the manhunt for the suspect in the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Killer's still on loose 6 days after the shooting. I want to go back to our senior investigative correspondent, Aaron Katursky. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning again, George. The mayor says the net is tightening, but this is now the 6th day of searching for a killer who has still not been identified. This morning, video obtained by ABC News shows the killer waiting for Thompson moments before the shooting. Others pass by, and when the killer sees his mark, he runs across 54th Street and opens fire. Detectives did release these new pictures showing the masked suspect getting into a cab about 20 minutes after the shooting. He rode to the George Washington Bridge, where police believe he boarded a bus out of town. Today, police divers are going to return to a pond in Central Park. They're looking for evidence, including the murder weapon and the bike the suspect was seen riding just minutes after the shooting. The NYPD has dispatched detectives to other cities to follow up hundreds of tips that have come in from around the country. They're putting less hope right now in facial recognition and DNA technology, and more in people, hoping somebody recognizes the suspect and turns him in. And at United Healthcare headquarters, they've erected fencing around the Minnesota office, mindful the online reaction to Thompson's murder has been vicious and unsympathetic with.
All right, Aaron Katursky, thank you. We turn now to the Trump transition. The president-elect sat down for his first TV interview since the election, outlining an aggressive agenda starting on day one. Our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce, is in Washington with more. Mary, good morning.
Good morning, Whit. Well, we haven't really heard from the president-elect like this since his victory. And this morning, we are getting a clearer sense of what Donald Trump is planning for his first day in office, from immigration to the economy and his vows of retribution. This morning, President-elect Donald Trump is working to hit the ground running, starting with his efforts to boost the economy. But pressed on concerns his plan to implement punishing tariffs will raise prices, Trump admits he can't guarantee Americans won't pay more.
I can't guarantee anything. I can't guarantee tomorrow. Tariffs are properly used, are a very powerful tool, not only economically, but also for getting other things outside of economics.
Trump has pledged to impose tariffs on China and a 25% tariff on all goods imported from Mexico and Canada. But some economists say it would cost American families more than $2,600 a year. And on immigration, Trump confirming his plan for mass deportations, starting with convicted criminals, but ultimately saying they could include any immigrants in the country illegally.
I think you have to do it, and it's a very tough thing to do. But you have to have, you have rules, regulations, laws. They came in illegally.
Even if they have children that are U.S. citizens.
I don't want to be breaking up families, so the only way you don't break up the family is you keep them together, and you have to send them all back.
Trump confirming his plan to try to end birthright citizenship on day one, even though it's enshrined in the 14th Amendment, suggesting he may try to amend the Constitution.
We're going to have to get a change. We'll maybe have to go back to the people, but we have to end it.
One group that could be protected under his plan, the so-called Dreamers, undocumented immigrants who came to the U.S. as children and have lived here most of their lives.
In many cases, they become successful. They have great jobs. In some cases, they have small businesses. Some cases, they might have large businesses. And we're going to have to do something with them. I think we can work with the Democrats and work something out.
And when it comes to his campaign promises to seek revenge against his opponents, Trump says he will not direct his administration to pursue political prosecutions, suggesting he will leave such decisions up to his attorney general and FBI director.
I'm really looking to make our country successful. I'm not looking to go back into the past. I'm looking to make our country successful. Retribution will be through success.
But he is also lashing out at members of the House committee that investigated his role in the January 6th attack on the Capitol, calling out former Congresswoman Liz Cheney, saying they should all be imprisoned.
For what they did, honestly, they should go to jail.
Now, Liz Cheney overnight responding to Trump's comments, calling them an assault on the rule of law. Trump also said he would work to pardon the January 6th rioters as soon as day one, and he still will not concede that he lost the 2020 election, even when pressed to do so in an effort to bring the country together and move forward. Robin.
All right, our thanks to you, Mary. Now the investigation into a police motorcycle crash during a holiday parade in California. The officer apparently losing control of the bike and barreling into a crowd of people. Trevor Ault joins us with the latest. Good morning, Trevor.
Good morning, Robin. So we're learning some new details about this really frightening incident. Take a look at this video. This police officer losing control of his motorcycle, rapidly accelerating into the crowd at the Festival of Lights parade Saturday in Palm Springs. A dozen people were injured there, including a child, 2 senior citizens, and that officer, Kenny Miranda. The Palm Springs Police Department is now conducting an internal investigation. The police chief says Officer Miranda lost his balance on the bike. His foot slipped off the peg, and it caused him to have to grip the handlebars, which caused that bike to accelerate at a rapid speed. Now, officials visited Officer Miranda in the hospital. They say he expressed deep concern for everybody who was hurt and wished them all a quick recovery. Guys.
Okay, thanks very much. Coming to our GMA morning menu, we hear from people who are microdosing weight loss medication to sidestep the side effects. And we're going to tell you what doctors think about the practice.
Also ahead, The Simpsons taking over Monday Night Football in real time as the action is happening on the field. Will Reeve is back with a pregame preview.
Let's get ready for Tori Johnson's last week of deals and steals for 2024. It is supersized with great gift ideas, up to 86% off. And Larry, got a special guest with you.
I sure do. We're just up here chatting. You know, Oscar winner Julianne Moore is with us to tell us about the highly critically acclaimed new movie. It's called The Room Next Door. A lot to talk about with our friend Julianne coming up on Good Morning America.
And we are back with our GMA cover story. It's about the microdosing of popular medications used for weight loss. Eva Pilgrim back with the story we first saw in the New York Times. Hey, Eva.
Good morning, George. These medications have been game changers for many people, but the side effects, nausea, vomiting, lack of appetite, have posed a real conundrum for some. And some say they found a solution: microdosing. This morning, microdosing meds used for weight loss.
It just makes me feel better about myself psychologically, that I can say no and that I don't have to eat sweets or too much food.
Erica Liebman, a psychologist in Philadelphia, was worried about all the possible side effects taking Ozempic. So under the supervision of her doctor, she decided to try microdosing, or taking very small amounts of the medication.
What I have found is that I'm able to put my fork down when I want to, when it's a healthy time, instead of when I've already started to regret how much I've eaten.
People on GLP-1 medications typically start by taking lower doses before gradually working up to higher doses over the course of several weeks. This is what is FDA approved and has been studied for safety and effectiveness in clinical trials.
Sometimes you start at a lower dose, you get the body kind of acclimated to the drug, and you minimize those side effects, and then you up titrate the dose over time.
For Michael Hammer of Los Angeles, after taking the recommended dose of Ozempic for 3 months, he was ready to give it up because he says his side effects were unbearable.
I would order food, and when the first bite came in, I would just immediately get overwhelmingly full and nauseous. And it would just make it, to the point that I was not consuming enough calories and really was worried about malnourishment.
That's when he says a medical professional who prescribed the medication to him through a telehealth company suggested he try microdosing instead. He's been doing it for 2 years now and says it changed his life.
It allowed me to lose the weight that would have taken me, I did it in 8 months instead of 2 years. But also it allowed me to reset my lifestyle.
While Michael and Erica say microdosing is working for them, doctors say there's no science right now that shows microdosing these medications is effective. There isn't even a true dosage range for microdosing.
I don't recommend microdosing to my patients. There's just not enough research there, and it's much easier to titrate these medications along the FDA-approved indications and doses.
And that doctor we spoke to adds that it's important to rely on the science here, and the science for microdosing just isn't there yet. But he says for anyone on one of these medications having trouble with the side effects, talk to your doctor. There are ways to lower the doses. Don't just choose a dose on your own, George.
Well, that is good advice. Okay, but thanks very much. Let's get some pop top news with Lara.
All right, George, let's do it. Good morning to you all. So Moana 2, riding that monster wave of success. The film opened just 10 days ago and has already made more money here in the U.S. than the entire theatrical run of the first Moana. The sequel, taking in $600 million globally so far, making it the 6th biggest movie of the year in just its first 2 weeks.
Wow.
It's unbelievable. Congratulations to everybody. Now to Paul Mescal, proving that even gladiators know how to defy gravity, thanks to his debut on SNL, where the writers decided to reimagine the new Gladiator film in the same vein as Wicked. So here's their trailer for Gladiator 2, the musical.
They call me gladiator, they call me a slave, they call me a killer, but someday they'll know my name.
That's clever. That's very clever.
Make-believe reviews in that sketch trailer include director Ridley Scott saying, "I was not told about this." And the Hollywood Reporter is saying, quote, "Movies are in such a weird place right now." And the trailer ends on the show with this catchy tagline.
There's no place like Rome.
It's really funny. And both movies continue to dominate at the box office. Who knew Mescal can sing, dance? The guy is a true triple threat. Really funny. I wish I could have aired the whole thing.
Puppies!
Yes, we must get to these guys. Come on in, everybody. North Shore Animal League America. You guys know how much I love this organization. Thank you, thank you. I don't even care about a top. I'm holding Jackson. You guys each have one of their adoptable puppies. I don't know, but I thought you would like because it looks a little bit like you. Yeah. They're all adoptable. These were all rescued from an overcrowded shelter in eastern Texas. While over 1 million animals are adopted from shelters every year, Animal League America says they always see a rise in adoptions in this month as gifts, of course. So they want to share some tips if you decide to adopt as a Christmas gift. First up, you want your new four-legged friend to be a surprise, maybe? Well, wrap a collar or a leash, put that under the tree, and then go as a family and pick out your new friend together. Also, keep your holiday traditions in mind. If you travel for Christmas or have a lot of parties, maybe adopt after the new year. Again, give a gift that says this is what you're getting, and then wait until after the holidays. And then in other good news, Whitney will appreciate this. New York State, all right, a new law is going into effect banning the sale of dogs, cats, and rabbits in retail settings. That's coming up. This will prevent puppy mills from churning out puppies, often in terrible conditions. Perfect time to contact your local shelter. Go to animalleague.org. They can also help you find a shelter near you and find that perfect pet. I'm in love with Jack. So guys, look at goodmorningamerica.com. We can help you get one of these guys. Hopefully all 4 of these dogs will be adopted before the end of the show. No man Lucas needs a sibling.
We might be ready for another foster pup in our house. We've had 24 so far move through the Johnson household.
I knew you'd really appreciate these guys.
Yeah, these are adorable.
Make
it happen. Yes,
North Shore.
thank you.
We love you guys.
Yeah.
Everybody do check out North Shore Animal League America and think about giving. Adopt, don't shop.
I mean, how can you resist these faces?
Yes, Story got that puppy smell. Little man Lucas going to be upset, but we're not upset about this. Deals and Steals. It is supersized this morning as we kick off 2024's final week of deals. Tori is here with more ways to save this holiday season with last chance gifts. Good morning to you. This was the final week.
Final week, baby. Let's do it. Okay, we are starting with number 7, UK favorite, GMA favorite. We've got all of the collections here. One of the ones that is the most popular among our shoppers is the Future Renew collection, which helps to reverse the visible signs of sun damage. These are also really great. Stocking stuffers, gifts. If you don't know somebody's skin type, I happen to love the Hydroluminous collection because it's really just about giving somebody brighter skin. So it's like a good wish for the new year. The entire collection, 50% off, starts at $10 plus
free shipping
from number 7.
Oh, wow.
We love that. Okay, pretzels.com. Can you smell them? They're hot pretzels. These are chef-created seasoned pretzels that are handmade every single day in Pennsylvania, pretzel capital of the world. And we've got a big variety of gift sets that they've created. So you can either, go plain because that's just delicious to heat and eat, or put away to freeze for when you have guests or just need a little snack and want to heat one up. Or we have ones that have these really great cinnamon and vanilla icing. Yeah. There's, if you like to go the hot sauce route, we've got those options. So no matter the style that you're going for, there's 5 different options to choose from. The packages are all 50% off today. Makes a really great gift.
Cannot beat that.
Yes.
This is very popular as well.
Very popular. Flatties. We're bringing them back with an even bigger assortment. So we've got the holiday collection plus their fine arts collection, the everyday styles, even the celebration collection. And what's great about these, Robin, is that they ship flat, just like that. And then you use the little steel base that it comes with to set your candle up like that. Perfect. So you can ship it inside of a greeting card, give it to somebody in a greeting card. Nice. So many different options. They're scentless and dripless, and they're just really pretty, quite frankly. 50% off. They are $9
and they
today.
tend to last. They
do.
Last.
Yeah, they do.
Great.
They get a few hours out of them. They're really nice. Alicia Adams Alpaca. This is a family-run farm business that specializes in their own alpaca blend. It is one of the finest fibers, known to be cozy, soft, and warm. So whether you like it on the couch or you want to wear it as a shawl, it's a big, oversized. This is like.
Well, it does match what I'm wearing.
It does match. It certainly does. And it's beautiful. So if you need a little warmth, put that right around. This one's got a really big discount. On this one today, we are saving 80% off and free shipping. Wow. This is a phenomenal gift for under $100.
It's a great gift idea. And jewelry.
Always fun. And what I love about this assortment from Daniela Swabe is that you get to look like you spent a lot of time with a personalized option. So we've got the bubble letters. We have all kinds of birthstone options in both necklaces as well as bracelet sets. These are always fun. These are great for hair ties, and then you pop them on your wrist, a little arm candy. What's great about these, Robin, is the price. Not only do they look good, but our savings start at 61% off every option, $5 to $22.
$5 to $22?
I mean, it's a good one.
They look so luxurious.
They do look luxe. They look fabulous.
Speaking of luxurious, when you go to sleep.
Yeah, this is night. This is the ability to give the gift of a little extra beauty sleep. So we've got their tri-silk pillowcases here. We've got their satin fitted sheets, the silk eye mask. We even have their pillow. Right down there in front is their Airlight pillow, which they claim is the best pillow in the world. But what I do love is that it does contour specifically to your head, so you do get that nice comfort and support and a really good night's sleep with a great pillow. Everything here from Night / 50 to 70% off, so you can give a nice gift and save a lot of money.
These are some great savings you got
going savings.
Here.
Okay. Brainstream. If they like doing things in the kitchen, we got an option for them. So this is the beep egg. This is a sensor that will it'll play a different tune depending on the what you choose for whether you're doing hard-boiled, soft-boiled. There's a tune that will play exactly when it's time to get your eggs out. We've got these drying racks that are great over any sink. It opens to the size of your sink for drying right there. We have also this little one goes in a purse, and it will light up just by opening your bag. You keep this at the back of your bag so your stuff doesn't get lost. Again, these are just fun, easy stocking stuffers. They start at $8.50 today.
Making life a little easier.
Makes life easier, yes. All right, McCrae's Candies. This is caramel at its finest. We've got just a delicious assortment, all made in America with some unexpected flavors. So if you're the traditionalist and you just like that classic vanilla, they've got it. But we also have black lava sea salt, Cape Cod sea salt, a deep chocolate, a maple, so many different options. They're all individually wrapped, makes great for gifting, 50% off.
All right.
And then finally,
it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It is.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
You can do with alcohol or spirit-free, your choice. Okay. You fill your base of choice in these jars, leave it for 1 to 3 days, then you get 8 phenomenal drinks from these. This makes a really great gift. But it's also great to have at home for when you've got gifts. starting at $10 and free shipping.
And free shipping.
Free
Okay,
shipping.
this is just one of 5 days or 7 days? 5 days?
5 days. And plus Saturday.
Okay.
Plus Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
We partner with these companies on these deals. Use the QR code on your screen. Go to our website, goodmorningamerica.com, and Tori's going to be here all week long, plus Saturday, with some last chance gifts. Coming up, Colin Farrell, what he's doing, his relationship with his son James. You'll hear about it next.
Welcome back to GMA, live from Times Square.
We do welcome you back, and actor Colin Farrell just recently started talking openly about his oldest son and the genetic disorder he lives with. It's called Angelman syndrome. He also launched a foundation to support people living with intellectual disabilities. And this weekend, 2020 co-anchor Deborah Roberts talked to him about it. And it's just so wonderful how open he's being and how many people he's going to help.
And just what a warm, wonderful guy he is, Robin. Colin Farrell is a passionate and private, award-winning actor whose life changed with the birth of his first child. He is now among the estimated 1.3 million young adults in the U.S. living with a developmental disability. For parents offering support, it can be challenging. I know that firsthand. And so does Farrell, who's become a vocal advocate not just for his son James, but for all families who are dealing with differences. Golden Globe-winning actor Colin Farrell is front and center as an ambassador for people living with disabilities. We caught up in Chicago, where Farrell's foundation was hosting a gala.
We have to help people understand how dire the situation is for so many.
Opening up about his 21-year-old son, James, who has a genetic disorder called Angelman syndrome. You are braving the Chicago weather, not for a film role, but for a cause that is near and dear. How much does it mean to you?
It means a lot to me. I mean, my son means a lot to me. What we're trying to do ultimately is to try and raise awareness.
James, diagnosed with Angelman syndrome just before his 3rd birthday, the rare neurogenetic disorder affecting 1 in 12,000 to 20,000 people, most with significant developmental delays, problems walking, talking, or caring for themselves.
The spectrum is pretty broad for our children who have Angelman syndrome. Some have words. James is nonverbal. Some can move around perfectly. James is not one of those, but he's ambulatory.
You describe him as your beautiful boy who has differences.
Yeah. He's great fun. He's really cheeky. He's bold. He's worked very hard all his life. Like, he has been doing occupational physical therapy, special needs exercises since the time he was 3.
You have James, your oldest, and you have Henry.
Yeah.
How do you balance the two?
I'm on a unicycle with, bowling pins. Like, but I think we have a good thing.
As a successful actor, Farrell says he's fortunate with the care for his son.
We have been able to provide a certain amount of support for James that very few families can provide, So that is not lost to me at all. I don't think he understands abstractions. I don't believe James understands the concept of time or calendar dates. So James, in many ways, exists in a state of grace. He's in the forever now. It's really quite amazing.
James is 21. On the one hand, he's a young adult.
Yeah, man.
But on the other hand, he's a young adult with a disability. But in this world, though, of disabilities, when a child turns 21...
Oh, yeah, the bottom falls out. No, there's no support systems. As far as therapies and after-school care, it all holds out. And that's when parents are just like, oh, what do I do now? They are just in the dark begging for support and help. They're subsisting on $45,000 or $63,000 a year. They're trying to keep their life together.
And he's determined that his Colin Farrell Foundation will make a difference. One of its goals, creating access to affordable community housing and day programs. On this evening, Farrell is less of a celebrity and more an ally, a kindred spirit in the special needs world. What is that like when you look into the eyes of these families and these kids?
I just love our community. I just love them all, yeah. I love seeing our kids. Everyone dreams of having a child who's special. And then you're told your child is special in a particular way, and the dream turns into a nightmare, and you feel lost, and you don't know what to do, and you don't know where to turn. And that's one of the kind of primary goals of this foundation that I've established, is to afford families and their loved ones an opportunity for just another resource.
What a remarkable guy. Farrell says he's been involved in the Angelman syndrome community for about 15 years, but only now did it bear his name. A humbling moment for him and for his son. He says James eventually wants to live on his own, which will require support, but most of all, guys, acceptance and the key word, kindness.
And he's got so much of that.
So much of that, but he says that's what we need to drill home to everybody.
Yes.
Kindness for people who are different.
Yeah, that's right. What a dear, dear man and his family. You're going to have more on Nightline?
That's right.
I know there's more to the story.
Much more, and also just more about James, which will be fun to get.
Oh, thank you so much, Deb. Whit?
Hey, Robin. Well, you might be wondering why Will Reeve and I are just out here standing in front of a donut truck. Well, we are channeling The Simpsons, of course. And as Homer says about donuts, is there anything they can't do? So we're saying the same thing today because tonight on Monday Night Football, The Simpsons will take over the game. And that'll happen live. Will Reeve is back with a preview on how all of this is going to play out. It's pretty cool.
It is, Wick. Good morning again. And how about technology?
Yeah.
What can't it do here? Tonight is the latest iteration of ESPN's foray into alternate broadcasts, using real-time animation of characters you know and love to play real live games. And I went up to my old stomping grounds at ESPN headquarters to check out how it's done. The NFL is going where no game has gone before, Springfield. Joining beloved characters from The Simpsons as they play alongside the Cincinnati Bengals and Dallas Cowboys on tonight's Simpsons Fun Day Football. It's a real live NFL Monday Night Football game and called in real time by Drew Carter, Mina Kimes, and Dan Orlovsky.
I've done a three-man booth before calling an actual game, and that's a challenge to begin with when you're standing next to each other like we are.
They'll be in separate rooms wearing VR headsets and appearing on TV as Simpsons characters.
We'll see our characters.
Yeah.
We can look to the left and to the right in our headset, and we'll see each other's characters.
The broadcasters have done their usual football prep and watched a lot of The Simpsons.
You're crushing tape on the Cowboys and the Bengals. I'm crushing tape on the Simpsons like season 7.
No one's coming to our game to really be educated about football. They want to be entertained.
Running the show are ESPN VPs of production and animation Phil Orlins and Michael Spike Chakuvny. For 3 months now, they've been working on tonight's broadcast.
How does the technology work to do a live sporting event?
The technology is extraordinary. There is data created that tracks where the ball is and where each of the players are, and then a second layer of data that visualizes the movements of the joints and limbs.
So if we put Bart in as the quarterback, the Bengals, he'll do exactly what Joe Burrow does during the game. So if Joe Burrow throws a 50-yard touchdown pass, Bart's going to throw a 50-yard touchdown.
In real time.
In real time.
Wow, and I see a play happening over there.
Call it.
That ball, I think it was an incompletion.
So what's it like to be Simpsified from the sidelines?
Feel like in a few minutes here, I'm going to be speaking like a Simpson. I'll be dropping a dough and an I caramba.
The show that I watched as a kid was either like SportsCenter or The Simpsons, essentially.
That's unbelievable.
I have Simpsons hands. You're swimming right now.
Yeah.
Game's going on behind you.
Oh, let's watch some ball. Wow.
And you can watch the Simpsons Fun Day Football with a special Simpsons Open that they made specifically for this on Disney+, and you can see the live action broadcast on ABC and ESPN. It all starts at 8 p.m. Eastern tonight.
I mean, the technology is amazing. What was it like to actually put on the headset and immerse yourself in the Simpsons world?
I think I'm getting the definition correct. It was surreal because you're in the VR and then you're in Simpsons world. I had little Simpsons hands with 4 fingers, and they have all these Easter eggs from the Simpsons world and fully immersed, and it was a lot of fun, and thanks to ESPN for helping us out.
Can't wait to watch. It's going to be a lot of fun. By the way, how are the donuts, everybody here? Cowboys fans have got the little footballs and everything. It's good.
They are good.
Excellent. All right.
Here's your name up in big lights there. We're back with our friend Julianne Moore, the Oscar winner, getting rave reviews again for her role in The Room Next Door. Welcome back. Great to see you.
Hi, it's so nice to see you.
So tell us about The Room Next Door.
Well, it's Pedro Almodovar's first English language feature film, which is a very, very big deal. He's someone whose work I'd so admired over the years. I never imagined that I'd be able to participate in a movie in English. And so here it is. It's a movie about mortality. and about, I think, especially about female friendship.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you about, kind of a deep exploration of something we don't always see on screen.
No, it's pretty rare, honestly. And these, female friendships have been so important in my life and in most women's lives. And often, I think, on film, we see women depicted as antagonists, or you see them in a love relationship or in a familiar relationship, but you don't see what we most often experience, which is friendship.
Let's take a look at a clip.
I made a list of stuff to buy. We need a few things. Is there anything you want me to get?
Don't think so.
You want to come to the store with me?
Maybe another day. It's so nice here. I'd like to stay if you don't mind.
No, of course not.
Friendship in kind of an extreme situation. Tilda Swinton's there in the scene with you. She now calls you her new old friend.
Yeah. We had known of each other. We had been friendly. We'd seen each other at film festivals and press conferences and things, but never really spent time together. And I'd always admired her, loved her work, and I loved kind of how she is in the world. And we actually got to be friends in real life, in real time on the film.
And that doesn't always happen, does it?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But it was pretty wonderful. We're both the same age. We've had similar careers. Our children are the same age. We had a lot to talk about. We sort of bonded day by day, which is what happens when you build an actual friendship with somebody.
You talked about Pedro Almodovar, the director. He does almost all of his work
in Spanish.
In Spanish. So what was it like working with him this time?
He's a real artist. He's an auteur. I mean, you see from that film clip, you see the way he tells stories is in color and in composition and poetic language and in humanity. I mean, he's a real humanist. I mean, this is a story about people and what they mean to each other and how we live day by day. He's a master.
Is that what drives you now, getting to work with people you haven't had the chance to work with before and explore something?
I think it's always driven me, honestly. I'm very interested in the community aspect of filmmaking. I like the idea of getting together and building something together, because you don't work alone. You really are. It's more than even what you see on screen. There's a whole kind of world of people. There are production designers and camera operators and prop people and costume people, and we all come together and we construct this fantasy. Another world. Yeah, that's right. But it's a world that relates to our own world. So we're telling stories about what it means to be alive.
Thanks for coming in today.
Nice to see you.
The Room Next Door opens in New York and Los Angeles on December 20th, nationwide, January 17th.
Coming up, Jenny Freshwater is here with some of the hottest holiday gift trends. We've got them all for you, so stay with us on GMA. All right, we're back on GMA with our season of gifting with over 2 weeks, just over 2 weeks until Christmas and Hanukkah. This segment is sponsored by Amazon, and their VP of Fashion and Fitness, Jenny Freshwater, is with us now to show us what gifts are trending. And everybody at home can follow along by scanning the QR code there on your screen. And Jenny, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Coming in from Seattle. And you were telling me that Amazon has a lot of tips and tricks on gift suggestions. Tell us how.
We do. Well, we have lots of shoppers, so we have.
Oh yeah, you listen to what they say.
We
you get
do.
The feedback. That's
we
so
listen.
Smart.
Yes, and we have a wide selection of gifts at great prices this year.
Yeah, but how do you help us? If we go on there and we're like, oh my gosh, it's a little overwhelming. What do I get for the team?
Well, this year we have Rufus, which is an AI shopping assistant for your hard to shop for people.
Yeah.
You can ask Rufus any question.
I love Rufus.
And it will tell you some good gift ideas.
Okay, great. Let's start with a great idea, which is the Dust Buster.
The Dust Buster, yes. So the Dust Buster, I have 2 kids, 2 dogs.
Yeah.
And so this one is a must for us. This Dust Buster is on sale for $49.
It's like the second generation of Dust Buster. I had this one, a long time ago. Now they're wireless. They're super easy
fast,
to use.
super easy to use, and you can take it anywhere. House, car.
Yeah, just leave it
clean
in the
up
car,
all those
in my
messes.
case.
Yes.
The deal is
$49 today.
That's really great.
Yes.
Normally, what would it be? A lot more?
A lot more.
Okay, there you go.
Yes, it's a great deal.
All right, Jenny, let's talk about this next one for the lounge lover in your life.
The lounge lover.
So my social media feed is filled with everybody taking cute photos in holiday jammies.
Yeah.
We have a variety here. These feel so soft. This is our Amazon Basics collection. They come for the whole family. You see the gifts for the fellas here, as well as Victoria's Secret here for the ladies in your life. And we also have kids selection, and it's all 40% off through December 14th.
Wow.
Yes.
And all these deals start today, right? Like this is the time.
We have deals going all through the holiday season, but this is a great selection of what we've got going today.
Deals, baby.
Rufus will show you.
All right, good. All right, let's talk some jewelry now and other trendy gift ideas.
Well, now we've hit my table, the fashion table, yes. And we've been really increasing our selection across fashion, premium fashion. We've got this Marc Jacobs tote.
My daughter has one of these and loves it.
You can carry it anywhere. It's canvas, all weather, detachable strap.
It fits a computer, fits all your needs.
Fits what you need, and is a great deal today at $159.
All right, great. And then some jewelry.
This jewelry, which I'm also wearing,
I noticed that. Very
yes,
cute.
Kate Spade, again, really nice selection, and you can buy this for yourself, as I did, or anyone on your list. It's personalized. We've actually noticed a trend that personalized jewelry, with initials and things, are really taking off on Amazon, and so this Kate Spade
great idea.
necklace, $28.
I love it. And then let's bring it home with some tunes. I didn't even clap. Thank you, guys. This has a great sound, as you can hear, and an incredible selection, by the way, of music. But this is the Beats Bill with Kim Kardashian. This is a collab.
It is. So this was...
Don't mind me.
We've just come off of Black Friday, Cyber Monday, some of the biggest shopping days of the year, and Beats in general was a top seller.
Yeah.
This particular one is a collab with Kim Kardashian. It's waterproof. You can take it everywhere, as we just heard. It sounds great. It's light, and it comes in a variety of colors. We've got the champagne, gold, red, black, and it also comes in gray. For
and
those
a
who love
really,
gray.
really good deal. $99 to $129.95.
That's right.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Jenny.
Thank you.
Love having you here. Amazon always delivers. And guys, these great ideas are thanks to our sponsor, Amazon, as you just heard. You can shop these products and so many more simply by pointing your cell phone camera at the QR code you see there, or just head to GMA's Facebook or Instagram pages for more information. Thank you.
Thank you.
We've got a new member of the GMA family, ABCnews.com managing editor Lauren Schur and her husband Brandon Just. Welcome, baby Clara Jean Goodman, her big sister Margot, mom, dad. They are all thrilled. Congratulations to that beautiful growing family.
Yes, love the pictures too. Thank you so much for watching, everybody.